Hey guys! Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Alexis and I am from the US.
And I'm Louis and I am Swiss.
And together we live in Switzerland, and this channel is all about living, but more specifically about traveling in Switzerland. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stick around. So you saw it in the title. In this video, we're going to be talking all about Montreux and the Montreux Riviera region. This is such a beautiful part of Switzerland on Lake Geneva, and based on all of our consultations and discussions with you, we know it is one of your favorite places to visit in all of Switzerland. We're going to be going through what to do in Montreux, but more specifically, all of the amazing things you can do in just a day from the region around. So in this video, we're going to go over what you can do in Montreux, specifically some of our highlights, and then we're going to talk about our 5 favorite day trips using Montreux as a base, because it is really well located to experience some amazing things in Western Switzerland. So starting with Montreux, Montreux is a beautiful town nestled on the shores of Lake Geneva. It's essentially the exact opposite end as Geneva on the lake. You of course have beautiful views on the lake, and it is situated on a promenade. So Montreux is actually known as the Montreux Riviera. It has a microclimate. So this promenade actually extends the entire length of Montreux. Montreux is known as the Swiss Riviera. It's a little bit of a microclimate, and you have all beautiful tropical foliage in the summer. It feels like you're on vacation, just really wonderful vibes. So the first thing we recommend you do is walk along the promenade. This will also be the location of the Christmas markets if you're visiting during the holiday season, but you can walk all the way along the promenade, and if you want, you can actually walk all the way to the Chateau Chillon. So it goes all the way there. But the Chateau Chillon is another amazing thing we recommend you check out in Montreux. This is a beautiful medieval castle. It is absolutely gorgeous from the outside. If you're familiar with the Little Mermaid movie, this is the castle that inspired the animators to design it. So I'll put that on the screen so you can see the comparison if you have little kids or something that like that movie, or if you're like me and you're a Disney adult and you like the movie. After you feel like you've explored the Chateau Chillon, you could head back to Montreux. And in Montreux, if you are familiar, Montreux is the home of the renowned Montreux Jazz Festival, which happens annually on the promenade and all across Montreux. If you've heard the song by Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, that first line in the song is actually about Montreux. There are so many famous jazz artists that have descended here over the years, but most notably Queen. On the promenade itself, you'll see a huge statue of Freddie Mercury. But in general, within Montreux itself, if you're here outside of some of those festival seasons, so if you're here in December, you have those beautiful Christmas markets. If you're here in July, you have the amazing Montreux Jazz Festival. But all around, Montreux is really just this kind of wonderful vacation vibe in Switzerland. I feel like I'm on vacation, even if I'm just there for a few hours. So really just take that in, enjoy. All of the hotels have really a resorty feel, and just everybody's in a good mood, it seems to be in Montreux. So that's why we love kind of using it as a base. So before we get into our favorite day trips from Montreux, of course you need to stay somewhere. Louis and I actually got married in Montreux. We stayed in a few different hotels kind of all along the lake, and that's our first recommendation, to pick a lakefront place. But out of the hotels we've stayed in right now, I think our recommendation would be the Fairmont Palace. So that is on one end of the Montreux Promenade, and it is perfectly located if you're here for the Jazz Festival. But we particularly love this hotel for a few reasons. One, it's one of the few hotels in Montreux that have an indoor and outdoor pool, so all year long. Of course, everywhere in Montreux you can use that lake. That's something that you should do always. But this had a wonderful pool outdoors and indoors. Our daughter was welcome in the pools, which was really nice, and not always the case in these hotels. And they had a huge spa, which I really like, that they had separate kind of areas for women and men, and then if you want to be like with your spouse or something, they have an area that's mixed. I really like that because I am American. I know a lot of my audience is American. We're a little bit more prude with the nudity than they are in Europe, and I don't love just walking around naked in spas, so I really love that this hotel had separate areas. But other than that, I think this hotel was just absolutely beautiful. I think it's over 100 years old. It has like a really gorgeous exterior, of course, but inside it was really well designed. Particularly, again, the rooms were extremely spacious. I think the bathroom was lovely. There was a separate bath and shower. The products were amazing, and the restaurants on site were really great. We just went for a weekend, and it feels like you're there kind of totally in a different place. You feel amazingly relaxed and well taken care of. And if you don't want to leave the hotel, you don't really need to. But
you can skip the rest of that video.
You can skip the rest of the video, but of course, this is perfectly positioned. It's very close to the train station, really close to the promenade to get to all of these places that we're about to cover next. So that's kind of our little guide of what to do within Montreux itself. But of course, as we mentioned, Montreux is extremely well positioned to explore Lake Geneva and some villages around, but also Western Switzerland as well. So we have curated 5 different day trips that you can do from Montreux to make the most of using the city as your base.
So the first day trip I love to recommend for multiple reasons is to go to Gruyeres. Gruyeres is a little medieval village that is an hour-ish away from Montreux. To get there, this is already one of the highlights. You can take the Belle Époque train from Montreux to Montbovon and then change quickly to go to Gruyeres. This takes a little bit more than an hour. The train has amazing views on the Lake Geneva, and you can take actually these Belle Époque train if you leave in the morning and enjoy actually that beautiful interior of this train before changing and getting into Gruyeres. In Gruyeres, you'll arrive right in front of the Maison du Gruyère, which is a tiny museum around Gruyère the cheese, and this was super well done. Always fun with kids, but also just with adults, because you have also the whole trying of the cheese and smelling and tasting and seeing how the cheese is made. I think this is a good stop in Gruyère to first there and then walking up or taking a bus up to the medieval village. This village is Alexis's favorite almost. I think it's just so beautiful. It feels fake almost because it's so cute. The whole main street is with these cobblestones. All the houses are really beautiful. So you can just walk in there. You have also a castle that you can visit. You have a few museums as well, but just already soaking it in and then having lunch there is what I love to recommend. It's good to reserve in advance because it can get crowded for lunch, but you'll have the best type of fondue there. It's really the epicenter of the quality of fondue there. This is where that cheese is made. So another day trip from Montreux that is great with a very fun cogwheel train is the Rochers-de-Naye. So this is a peak that is on top of Montreux with an amazing view on the Lake Geneva and on the Alps surrounding Montreux. You can take a cogwheel train for about 50 minutes and already the ride up is pretty nice, but then on top you'll be able to walk. You have a little ridge you can walk on and have all these views. I think this is fun also because it's so easy to get to. You just go to the train station of Montreux and take that train before going up and enjoying the views. For the Christmas market, they have Santa up there actually as kind of the North Pole. So that's something if you are thinking about being in Montreux for the Christmas market. The Rochers-de-Naye is fun, not just for the view but also for meeting Santa.
So the next day trip on our list from Montreux is the Glacier 3000. So from Montreux, you can either drive to the Glacier 3000, or what we recommend is you can actually take a charter bus. Get Your Guide is where you can book them that we've used before. We'll link it in the description. Otherwise, you can take Swiss public transportation as well, but it's a little bit less direct. You need to go via Gstaad, so it just takes a little bit longer. So the Glacier 3000, like you can imagine, goes up to see a glacier at 3,000 meters. And you take the gondola all the way up, but what's very cool, not only the view, which of course is really beautiful, there's a lot of activities up there as well. I would say particularly if you have slightly older kids, like 7, 8 and plus, there's a lot of really fun things you can do. So the first one that I know a lot of you love and always ask about places that you could go experience this is you have one of those summer toboggans, so a mountain coaster that Louis really loved. They have a really cool one up in Glacier 3000, so you can go pretty fast. So you have one of those there, of course, that has wonderful views of the glacier the whole way down. Another thing you can do to keep the adrenaline pumping is the Tissot Peak Walk. This is really unique. It's the only suspension bridge in the world that connects two mountain peaks. It's just like this hanging bridge and it connects.
It's a little bit scary actually.
It literally connects the top of two mountains, like the wind kind of rocks it a little bit. So you walk along the peak and you walk along and you can literally walk from one mountaintop all the way to another. And of course, while you're doing that, you have amazing views. So this is open in the winter as well as the summer season. So this is something you can do all the time. Also what you can do, because I know a lot of you are traveling from places that do not have snow, and Glacier 3000 is one of those places that even when we just went in the dead of August, we'll have snow all year round. So once you're at the top of Glacier 3000, you could take a ski lift down to the actual glacier so you can kind of walk along the snow, which I know is something nice if you're from a warmer climate and maybe snow is a little bit less familiar to you than it is to us. That's something that you can do all year long. But Glacier 3000 is something really wonderful. You can get that little bit of a taste of winter, go on a mountain coaster and just experience wonderful kind of alpine experiences from Montreux as a base.
And this is about an hour away from Montreux, so pretty easy to do that. Another day trip that is very close actually to Montreux, but is definitely worth spending one day is going to Lausanne. This is a city also on Lake Geneva that is only about 20 minutes by train, about an hour ish by boat, and I do recommend actually from Montreux going there by boat first, because you can time the departure with the boat. You don't have that many boats that run, so it's always good to do it at the start, so you are sure that you'll enjoy that time as well. But then in Lausanne there are, I think, a few things that I love to hit and I recommend doing. One is just off the boat you can walk on the Ouchy promenade. This is also another beautiful promenade, and actually along the promenade you'll see the Olympic Museum. This is one of the best museums for me, well done museum in Switzerland. It's also included in the Swiss Travel Pass, which is something pretty nice if you do have that Swiss Travel Pass. And you learn a lot about the Olympics. Lausanne is actually the Olympic capital. You have the CIO, the Olympic Committee that is there, and this museum really has so many memorabilia, medals, different things from all the Olympics that past century. And yeah, I just like it a lot, and I know that people that go there tend to like it. So that's to be close to the lake, and then you can go up. You have a subway, a metro in Lausanne, the only one in Switzerland actually, and you can go up to the old town, very cute old town to walk in, and then you can go to the cathedral also, which gives you an amazing view on Lausanne before going back to the train station and going back to Montreux. So this is a day trip, or could be also a half day trip, that I would definitely do if I have 3-4 days in Montreux.
So last but certainly not least on our list of things to do in the region around Montreux is the Lavaux and exploring the lake around by the CGN boats. The Lavaux, if you've watched a few of our videos, you've likely seen us mention it. The Lavaux are these really beautiful terrace vineyards that are UNESCO protected. They're a UNESCO heritage site, and these gorgeous vineyards that kind of just descend into the lake, and it's a beautiful wine growing region in Switzerland that's around Lausanne and Montreux and that part of Lake Geneva. They are absolutely beautiful to just walk around and explore by foot, but there's a few other ways you can explore them first. So whenever you're in a winemaking region, we of course always recommend tasting the wine. It would be a shame missing it. As you'll kind of walk through, you'll see a lot of signs that say Cave ouverte, which means that their wine room is open and you can go taste some wines in the cellar. But what we recommend to at least get oriented is to go to Vinorama. Vinorama is set up to kind of aggregate all of the winemakers from across the region, and you can taste wine from a bunch of different winemakers. They have little snacks and food. They speak English really well, and I thought that was a great place to start and at least test your palate and see what you're interested in, and then you can of course move on and go to some of those local winemakers. So other than exploring by foot, there are two other fun ways that you can explore the Lavaux. One is with a little train. It's not exactly a train, it's kind of like a tram. It's called the Lavaux Express, and it goes through the vineyards. That's open through late spring until the early part of fall. I'll put some dates on the screen, but that's cool because you can kind of go through and it drives through the vineyards. If you don't have a car on this little train, then you can see, and they'll stop at some wine stands along the way too, so you could taste some wine. That's a fun, nice way to explore it, especially if you come in the summer and it's really hot.
Yeah, you don't need to go up.
You might not want to totally walk around. It's a lot of hills. Another way to explore it is to explore it by boat. So the CGN has these really beautiful Belle Epoque style boats that are on Lake Geneva, and they are from like the 1930s, and they are steamboats, so they're really cool inside. They almost have this like old world luxury feeling, especially if you sit up in the first class. It's really beautifully designed. So that's a really nice way to explore it as well, because you get gorgeous views of it from the lake that have like a really different feel. So really beautiful views from the lake, and it's just a very nice way to explore. And if you want to keep drinking wine, you can drink wine on the boats too.
Easy peasy.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it and consider using Montreux as a base and spending some time there. But then to continue on, it is very easy now with the Golden Pass Express to get directly from Montreux to Interlaken, or vice versa, and continue on with the rest of your discovery of Switzerland. So with that, we hope you enjoy the video. If you need some more information, we have a lot of different itineraries that we've curated for you that you can purchase here. The one that Montreux and some of these destinations would be included in would be in the Western Switzerland Geneva itinerary, but of course check out all of them in this guide here. And if you need even more help, Louis offers one-on-one consultations that you can book using the link here as well. But that is it for us guys. Thank you as always so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye guys.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
If you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.